What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, what's going on in the United States, Washington, D.C., money, investing, and the next stimulus package that has been announced at $3.5 trillion and is currently in the House of Representatives. We have major breaking news from both the House and the Senate here today as they move forward with, number one, a government shutdown. The government will shut down in 9 or 10 days at the end of this month. If they don't come forward with an agreement at the end of this month, we will have a government shutdown. Number two is the debt limit. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that the government will default. For the first time ever, we will see a government default on the debt that is already owed by the government. A catastrophic default sometime in October if they don't raise the debt ceiling. This is on all the debt that is already owed. They have to raise the debt limit just to pay the interest on the debt that is already owed. And this would be a catastrophic financial crisis for the United States to have a debt limit if the debt limit is not raised. That's number two. Number three, we have a massive update on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package coming directly from the House of Representatives and what they're going to be doing forward. We have a lot to discuss here in this video. We have a new bill that has been introduced today and could be voted on regarding several of these issues. So major breaking news here from directly from the House here today. So let's jump right in. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. We're going to have a lot of information coming out this week regarding all this breaking news, as they're going to need to handle a lot of these situations here very, very quickly. Also, if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. And real quick, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, Drop. Drop is a completely free mobile app that rewards you for shopping at your favorite brands. The way it works is when you make purchases at your favorite store, Drop will reward you with points for your purchase. These points are as good as cash and can be redeemed at many of your favorite stores like Starbucks and Amazon. And by linking your debit or credit cards to Drop, it's even easier to earn rewards. When you link your cards into the app, Drop will automatically add points into your account, even when shopping in person with those linked cards. How awesome is that? Plus, you don't even have to shop to earn rewards with Drop. With Drop, you can earn rewards by just playing games, completing offers, or taking a survey. It's just that simple. To take advantage of these awesome deals and rewards, all you need to do is add your debit or credit card in the app and start shopping like you normally would. And points add up quickly so you can spend them even faster. So make your way over to the App Store and download Drop today. Plus, use the promo code in the description to receive a $10 sign-up bonus, which equals 10,000 points. And the bonus will be deposited once you earn your first 1,000 points by completing offers on the app. I will put a link for you down below in the pinned comment and the description of this video. So go ahead and download Drop for free now. Okay, lots to go through. Number one, the Democrats have released a combined debt ceiling bill that would raise the debt ceiling and fund the government through December 3rd. But will Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans go along with that? More on that in a moment. House Democrats have unveiled legislation today on Tuesday that would keep the federal government funded through December 30th. They need to pass this by the end of the month, September 30th, or on October 1st, the government will have a government shutdown. And in this bill also, they will suspend the debt limit into next year, as the deadlines to avert both crises loom in a matter of days. The bill is expected to hit the House floor for a vote later today. That's right, today. They could vote on this today. Republicans have been adamant that they won't back a debt limit suspension as a form of protest against the Democrats' $3.5 trillion bill, the stimulus package, to expand social safety net programs. But remember, in the video before this, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said that he would support spending or stimulus to send to Afghanistan. So Mitch McConnell said he would support sending money over to Afghanistan aid, but he won't support aid for the American people, and that he didn't support the third stimulus check package, and he didn't support that $1,400 stimulus check that his own president, former President Donald Trump, wanted. Remember, former President Donald Trump wanted to make that $600 stimulus check $2,000, and he blocked it single-handedly. Yeah. So Mitch McConnell not only blocked his own former President Donald Trump's $2,000 stimulus check, he also didn't vote for the third stimulus check package. Not a single Republican did. He's also not going to vote for this next stimulus package, but he will vote for stimulus to be sent to Afghanistan. I have his speech in the video before this if you want to check that out. While the bill tying a suspension of the debt limit through December 2022 to avoiding a government shutdown is expected to easily pass in the House because the Democrats can pass it without a single Republican vote in the House. We'll see if it gets any Republican votes. It appears to lack the votes in the Senate, where at least 10 Republicans would have to join with all the Democrats for it to pass. The bill also includes $28.6 billion to address recent natural disasters, including Hurricane Ida, which recently ravaged the South and East Coast, that may draw support of some Republicans who want to ensure that disaster aid arrives to their districts in a timely fashion, but won't draw a majority of the Republican support. We did have at least one Republican senator last night say that he will probably vote for this bill, and that is Republican Senator John Kennedy, whose home state of Louisiana was hit hard by Hurricane Ida, said he probably will vote for the legislation that would fund the government and provide disaster relief and raise the federal debt limit, saying, quote, "I want to see what they come up with, but if it's fair, I will probably vote yes, reluctantly." However, Mitch McConnell has reiterated that he says the GOP, which is short for the Grand Old Party, the Republicans, will vote for the U.S. to default on its debt. So again, the Republicans will be voting not to raise the debt limit, aka they will be voting for the U.S. to default on its debt for the first time ever. This is being spearheaded by Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has, we read in an article yesterday that he actually went to the Senate Republicans and actually told them not to vote on this as somewhat of a personal vendetta. We had a Republican senator who actually gave a statement that Mitch McConnell told them how to vote no towards raising the debt limit, even though they have to do this or else the government will default. And they have to do this just to pay for the past debt of all the past organizations for the past 100 years. So Nancy Pelosi says, who's the Speaker of the House, says that they could be voting on this today in the House of Representatives. So that's the first thing. We'll get to the stimulus package here in a moment. That's very, very important. Well, first of all, we need to say that the House can pass this bill on their own, because remember that all you need in the House is one vote more than 50%. And the Democrats can pass that on their own without a single Republican vote. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there if any Republicans come on board, because that might be a telltale sign of what will happen in the Senate. In the Senate, to pass and raise the debt limit ceiling, remember they're going to combine the debt limit and the government shutdown and this disaster relief bill in one. We would need 10 Republican senators to raise the debt limit ceiling and to avert a government shutdown for this to happen. The only other way to prevent this from happening, there's maybe two other ways. So number one, they could do a government shutdown bill on its own. So the Republicans have said they would vote for a government shutdown bill and a disaster relief fund bill on its own, but they will not raise the debt ceiling on its own. Okay, Mitch McConnell has this vendetta about the debt limit ceiling, but the problem is the debt limit ceiling is the much more important issue. We've seen government shutdowns in the past, and although they're bad, government shutdowns, not anything to take lightly. A government default is potentially 100 times worse. It's akin to a person going bankrupt or a person filing bankruptcy. In this case, it would be akin to the government filing bankruptcy. Imagine the United States government telling its debtors, people that we owe debt to. In this case, a lot of the debt that's owed is, in some case, Americans. Treasuries, treasury bonds. Imagine the United States losing its AAA credit rating and saying, we've run out of money. We can't pay people we owe money to. We could see a financial collapse. Yeah, it could be absolutely crazy. Just the panic alone could be crazy. Check out this statement. I'll read you a couple of statements here. Mitch McConnell says, we will not support legislation that raises the debt limit. Mitch McConnell says, after Pelosi's and Schumer's announcement of this new bill. Democrats do not need our help. And that is because the Democrats can raise the debt limit in the stimulus package through reconciliation. But it's under a very time crunch to see if they can get this done before the debt limit actually is hit. If the debt limit is hit before this, well, the government could literally default. So that's the other problem here. And some of the Democrats are saying they might consider raising the debt limit on their own. The Democrats didn't want to do that at first because they feel they shouldn't have to raise it on their own. It's a lot of Democrats are saying it's ridiculous that they should have to do it and not have the Republicans. It's been done for 100 years that Republicans and Democrats just vote to do it. And nonetheless, I try not to pick sides, but this is what Democrats are saying here. But they might not have time to pass the package in time before the debt limit ceiling because we don't know exactly when the government's going to run out of money. They could run out of money in the next week. It could be 10 days. It could be 12 days. It could be 14 days. Who knows? So the game between what Mitch McConnell is playing versus the Democrats is a very scary game. Check this out. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, Chuck Schumer is the Senate Majority Leader of the Senate, said in a joint statement on Monday that the House would pass legislation before October to fund the government through the end of the year and on track and tack on the debt limit ceiling through December to once again meet our obligations and protect the full faith and credit of the United States. Addressing the debt limit is about meeting obligations the government has already made. And that's true. It literally just to pay the interest on all the past debt, they have to do this. And again, the government spends more money than they make every single year for many, many years. So that's true. Like the bipartisan emergency COVID relief legislation from December, that second stimulus check package that was passed underneath Trump, and the first one, as well as the vital payments to Social Security recipients and our veterans. And again, this is not the first time we've seen this here. But remember that anything that comes from the government would be potentially under distress if the government runs out of money, like Social Security, money from the veterans, schools, literally anything that comes from the government. So if the government runs out of money, Social Security, VA, Medicare, Medicaid, the school systems, fire, police, everything could be in trouble. And first of all, the government shutdown is going to happen in 9 or 10 days. And the debt limit ceiling is going to happen sometime in October, or government default. They say, furthermore, as the administration warned last week, a reckless Republican-forced default could plunge the country into a recession. Next, Nancy Pelosi tells the House Democrats to prepare for adjustments to the $3.5 trillion spending plan. This is the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Check this out. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told her Democratic colleagues on Monday that they should brace for adjustments to the $3.5 trillion spending package, the stimulus package, To fit the Senate's constraints for the budget process lawmakers, the reconciliation package. Remember that we just found out here within the last like 24 to 40 hours that they can't include the immigration reforms that they wanted to put in there, that the Senate parliamentarian ruled that can't be in there. That actually will reduce the size of the package. I think the immigration reforms was anywhere was 100 to 200 billion dollars. So that's going to actually free up 100 to 200 billion dollars that they don't need to pay for that package in there. Democratic-led House committees completed work last week on their respective portions of the plan, which is a cornerstone of Biden's agenda. But Pelosi warned her fellow Democrats that the package could be trimmed to ensure it clears both the House and the Senate. The president and Senate Democrats sent us a budget resolution with a cap of $3.5 trillion. I have promised that we would not have House members vote for a bill with a higher top line than would be passed by the Senate. Hopefully, that would be at $3.5 trillion number, the California Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said. We must be prepared for adjustments according to the Byrd Rule and to an agreed number. The Byrd Rule is a rule that basically you have to abide by for the reconciliation package or the reconciliation process. Everything that goes into the reconciliation process in the Senate has to agree by those rules. Those are the rules that they use for the reconciliation process to pass the stimulus package with only 50 to 51 votes in the Senate. 50 votes, 50 Democrats are going to say yes, 50 Republicans are going to vote no. All the Republicans, I say this, a lot of people don't realize this, all the Republicans voted no on the third stimulus check package. So when you got that $1,400 stimulus check, every single Republican voted no, and the child tax credits. And every Republican voted no on the initial process of the fourth stimulus package. Every Republican is going to vote no on this next stimulus package. So these extra Medicare benefits that are going to be in there, whatever stimulus programs are going to be in there, everything for this next stimulus package, every single Republican is going to vote no on. So, yeah, so the way the vote's going to go is all the Democrats are going to vote yes if Joe Manchin comes along, right? As well as all the Republicans are going to vote no. That'll be a 50-50 vote. And then the tiebreaker vote goes to the Vice President of the United States, who is Kamala Harris, for the 51st vote. The only reason the Democrats even have the majority in the Senate is because they control the presidency. So right now the Senate is actually a 50-50 tie. It's 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans. And that actually happened if we go back. It was actually 50 Republicans and 48 Democrats. And Mitch McConnell didn't pass that $2,000 stimulus check or that $1,400 on top of that $600 second stimulus check. And former President Donald Trump wanted to raise that second stimulus check to $2,000, and Mitch McConnell single-handedly blocked it. I have a feeling a lot of people are not very happy with Mitch McConnell over these last 9 months or so. But former President Donald Trump actually wanted to raise that $600 stimulus check to $2,000. It passed in the House. It was called the Cash Act. It passed in the House, and then Mitch McConnell didn't even let it go to a vote. He single-handedly blocked it. And Trump wanted to make it $2,000, and it passed the House. This was an actual bill that passed the House, and Mitch McConnell blocked it. He didn't even let it go to a vote. And there was going to be enough votes to pass. It passed the House. It was going to pass the Senate, and we were going to get $2,000 in December before Biden even came into office. And lo and behold, Mitch McConnell didn't even let it go to a vote. And then, like, literally a few days later, we had the two Georgia Senate runoff races, and the Democrats needed to win both those Senate seats to tie the Senate 50-50, because the Senate was 50 to 48, and there was these two, like, runoff races, they call them, basically tiebreaker elections. And the Democrats won both those seats by the slimmest of margins. And a lot of people say that if Mitch McConnell wouldn't have blocked that, and a lot of people hold him accountable because he didn't even let it go to a vote, that the Republicans may have won at least one out of two of those Senate seats. And a lot of people were very mad because he didn't even let it go to a vote. It had already passed the Senate or already passed the House. Former President Donald Trump, it was literally his idea to even have that. And Mitch McConnell didn't even let it go to vote. He said, nope, I don't agree with this. I don't want it. So he didn't let it go to a vote. He went against his own Republican president. Yeah. So that's how we got to here. And then lo and behold, President Biden comes in office and just passes the $1,400 anyways. Imagine if you're Mitch McConnell, what you're thinking to yourself. Well, I blocked the $1,400 stimulus checks, and then Biden comes in office and passes it anyways. Imagine what you got to be thinking if you're Mitch McConnell. Like, what are you thinking if you're Mitch McConnell there, right? Let me see here. I went against my own president, former President Donald Trump. He was president at the time. He wanted a $1,400 stimulus check. I'm going to block him. I'm not going to send that out to the people. I know people are hurting right now. People could have really used that check. I'm going to block it. I don't agree with sending out people a stimulus check, an extra stimulus check. And then Biden comes in office. We lose the Senate. I lose the Senate majority leader. Mitch McConnell's thinking this. So Mitch McConnell loses the Senate majority leader, which is a big thing because he can no longer block bills. Chuck Schumer becomes the Senate majority leader. When you're not the majority leader, you can't just send bills to the graveyard anymore. And then Biden comes in office and passes the $1,400 stimulus checks anyways. Yeah. Yeah. And really, it was a lot more because they had $1,400 for children in there as well. And they had $1,400 for adult dependents and adult dependents and college student dependents who didn't even receive stimulus checks. And they had the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits. They had the $40 to $50 billion in rent assistance and the whole third stimulus check package. And then now they're working on the fourth stimulus package as well. And now we have this whole government shutdown, debt limit ceiling, and then Mitch McConnell is at it again. Yeah. I've seen a lot of comments from even, again, I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. So you can see there that even former President Donald Trump has had his own issues with Mitch McConnell. He wanted to pass a $1,400 stimulus check, give relief to Americans. And Mitch McConnell blocked it against his own Republican president. I've seen a lot of comments from people, even down below in the comment section, that were a lot of Republicans are completely pissed at Mitch McConnell. He just kind of does whatever he wants to do. So a lot of times at the expense of the American people. Let me know down below in the comment section if you're a Republican, what you think about what Mitch McConnell is doing, that he's going to vote to let the U.S. government default. And it may work out if the Democrats can pass the debt limit ceiling through the reconciliation process, but that's if they can do it in time. It's maybe a 50-50 chance if they can even do it in time. Because again, we need Joe Manchin to vote yes. It takes time. It's a whole process. And then also let me know what your thoughts on Mitch McConnell blocking that $1,400 stimulus check from his own Republican president, Trump. Yeah. So nonetheless, we could be seeing a vote today, an emergency vote for the government shutdown and the debt limit ceiling in the House. Okay. But remember, it's not the House that's the big hurdle. It's the Senate, where we will need 10 Republican senators to vote yes. And currently, it does not look like we're going to get that. Mitch McConnell says that all the Republicans are going to vote no. We have maybe one Republican that's going to say yes so far that has come out on this. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think we will see 10 Republicans out of 50, which is only 20% of them? Do you think we will see 20% of the Republicans say yes? So make sure to subscribe down below. I'll keep you up to date with the stimulus package, the government shutdown, the debt limit ceiling, and everything. Subscribing is completely free to do. You can click the bell icon after subscribing to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. You can also click the share button down below to share these videos with your friends and family so that they know what is going on with the government shutdown, with the debt limit ceiling default situation and with the next stimulus package. You can click this video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is how there could be a $1,000 check in this next stimulus package. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.